Okay, of course. Okay, so I went ahead and pre-shuffled and laid out the basic narrative before I do clarifications for a person that I thought of for what I call a themed or a topical spread. I usually do 3 or 4 themes, or 3 or 4 topics, and then an overall arcing theme. I'm trying my camera, my phone, my computer, everything to do these videos. They all have their own setbacks in learning how to do videos, and I've done way too many to not even have one uploaded on this yet. Anyway, I went ahead and I pre-shuffled and laid it out to save time on it. First, we're going to have to deal with the glare. I'll hold cards up as I talk about them. I'm pre-shuffling my clarification deck as I talk to you here. I did that to save time because that would have been probably 5-6 minutes of the video alone just to put all this out. So the overall theme of the entire reading is about, it says messages. Mercury is the planet that rules communication and thinking, higher education, learning. Yeah, so communication, thinking, higher education, learning. I forget the legend that deals with Mercury. My themes and topics get pulled out of Star Code Astrology. For all these readings, I always use this deck. That is the overall theme of the reading. Sorry, I can't fit it in here. It's a very tight squeeze already with the cards I have out. Secondary, going with that theme, we have the Four of Swords. This is a card of introspection. The person's in a nice quiet place in a church and they're in introspection on higher learning, communication, thinking, things that they've already learned in their life, things that they need to yet learn or discover, uncover, consider new ways of thinking. Okay, that's the overall theme of the reading. The topics include alliance, which is relational, partnerships, community. I'll go deeper in that. Mars, motion, action, taking action, actions occurring. This is ego, this is center, this is physicality, things occurring, and passion, inner passions. What makes a person unique? What makes a person them? So to look at alliance, we will go ahead and look at that. Like I said, I just tried to save time by pre-putting it out for the person that I'm doing this reading for. So with this, it's about anytime 2 celestial bodies conjunct, meaning they dance close together, they first work together and blend their meaning and purpose. Then they begin a new cycle of their relationship. The sun and moon conjunct at the new moon, but because the sun is overpoweringly huge, it has special rules. Planets are so tiny compared to the sun that when they are close within 8 degrees of the sun, they seem to disappear or combust and lose individual power. But when the planets exactly conjunct the sun, their strength merges and grows within the heart of the sun. The conjunction tells us that we are stronger when we work together, as long as we don't disappear into another's flame. The action with this card is co-conspiring, finding people and allies who support your ideas, as this is not a situation in which to go it alone. Bring in someone with extra skills to offer to your protection. Find the best friend to discuss your concerns with, or spark off a new partnership. Watch the energy build as you bounce ideas off the other person. Just take care of your own energy fields and ideas in this process. If you have merged your energy with a partner, teacher, or coworker, or are considering merging, notice what strengthens you and where you may need to step back and individuate. Find your own paradigm and technique. It can be lovely to love someone with a sun-like personality, warm, expansive, though at times exhausting, but don't combust. The challenge, you need to pay attention to relationships that ask you to shrink yourself to fit with them and value conjunction over individual growth. The gift in this is a conjunction can become greater than the sum of the parts. It's about partnerships. Okay, so the topic in this one's about partnerships. We'll go through it before we go to the next one. So it looks like a partnership went through a Ten of Swords, a betrayal situation. A partnership had a moment of testing. Somebody combusted in the sun. That's what I'm going to say about that. I'm going to show you this Alliance card. You think about geese. They're in a flock. They're a community. They work together. The lead goose, actually there isn't a lead goose. They all take turns leading to support the whole overall team, like they were saying. Sometimes one's more in the center than the other. Yeah, it looks like somebody combusted in the sun. There's a betrayal, a backstabbing. It's over. 10 is completion, so it's a past situation. Starting that off, it starts off with a Seven of Swords. That's lying, cheating, stealing, theft, lending to that betrayal. It's also ingenuity. It's not always lying, cheating, stealing, theft, but with that upper card, I'm taking it as that. It can also just mean this guy didn't want to go to war, so he stole all the swords the night before battle so that they had no swords to battle with the next day. That would be a sense that it's, ingenuity or finding a new way to get around a problem. A creative, crafty new way to get around a problem. The good news is like I said, that's over. And that's probably over because right after that we have an Ace of Pentacles and an Ace of Wands offering new health, wealth, time management, resource opportunities, and a new course of action into the future that deals with, again, a partnership. And it looks like it's okay because they get to celebrate high honor. This guy's on Six of Wands. The guy's on a horse. He's being praised in a parade. It's praise for a job well done. It shows that the Nine of Pentacles, a hardworking, generous, giving, independent, supportive partner there. Tower moment, meaning that there was an upheaval or a turn of events. Something happened that made them shift course. And a Queen of Wands. We'll have to see more about what those mean. It doesn't play, like some of this plays out a story all on its own, but then some of this we need those clarifiers for. So that's where I get into the clarifiers. I'll get into this area when I am done clarifying this area. So we're going to start out with the Seven of Swords and see if it wants to tell me anything about what happened in that situation. And yep, I'm recording. Looks like this recording might not be too bad. Sorry about all the spots or the sun on these cards, but it is what it is. The lighting in here cannot be fixed. And I could do take 528 and still not use the video, so we're going with it. Okay, so there was, okay, the Six of Pentacles is about a person that gives with strings attached, okay? They're a supportive person, they're philanthropic, but there's usually strings attached. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you can't scratch my back, then I might not scratch yours. That's the kind of energy that this card can be. It's not always like that, but that's what I'm picking up on from the rest of this situation. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. It's the slowest moving knight in the deck. They're usually there in times of peace. They're a supportive role. That's a person or an energy of the person that I'm reading for. They could be the one that was behaving like that, or they could be the person that was being treated like that. They're a hard worker. They put the work in. They'll help other people achieve their goals as well. We've got a mastery card, Eight of Pentacles. This is someone that's working to master their skill. They're a craftsman, and they're working towards self-mastery of whatever that skill is. Okay. I know this stuff's going off the board, but that's why I'm showing you. And we have the Fool card, which is somebody ready to take a leap of faith into a new journey or adventure and see where it takes them. They're not so worried about the outcome as much as just having this new opportunity and new experience, which fits because we have two new opportunities right after that. So let's look at this Ace of Pentacles and see what this Fool is leaping into. Doesn't mean they're being foolish. It just means that they're ready to be free-spirited enough to take that leap and step into the unknown. Take the chance. They might know where they're going. But, you know, anytime you walk a trail, you might think you know where you're going, but you don't know if you're going to cross a snake or a groundhog or a coyote or a little fuzzy bunny rabbit. Maybe you're going to get to pet a turkey. You don't know what's on that trail. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you don't know what the trail itself looks like. So, Ace of Pentacles. Can we please get a clarifier for the Ace of Pentacles for this person? Okay, they had to do some introspection for whatever this new opportunity or offer was for both of these. I'm going to look at both of these together. This was a new financial opportunity or a healing opportunity for healing, self-healing, physical healing, spiritual healing, all the above. But there was a new action that would come about from taking this new opportunity, a new outcome from it, a new way to move forward. So that's apparent. This person had to do introspection. They had to go into hermit mode, which is kind of shut yourself off from the world and deal with yourself and see what you can learn. The hermit's high up on the mountain in the traditional card with a lantern. Oh, I got the hermit over here. So the hermit's already showed up twice. Introspection, insight. See, he's up on the mountain. He's looking down at the community below. He's got it all lit up. He wants to go join the community, but they're kind of deciding. They're in contemplation about how they fit in, possibly, what they could do to actually help. They've got the light in that lantern. And some people say that his feet are frozen to the mountains, so he's kind of just taking that moment of pause, and he could easily put the lantern down and unthaw his feet. We don't need to go into all that. What it really means is it's a moment of introspection to gain more insight in yourself. Hermit is also Virgo energy, although that may or may not matter to my reader. I don't know what their sign is. So they could just be showing up as their Virgo energy, or they could be, like I said, a moment of introspection. This introspection is dealing with a Eight of Cups, which means that they were dissatisfied with this relationship in the past and they had to step back from it to reconsider some things. I don't know if they walked away from it or if they just turned their back to it to move into a calmer situation, to get some introspection, you know. And they need strength. They are struggling with something. They need strength to work through it, whatever it is. See if there's anything else on this Ace of Pentacles and Eight of Wands, because it almost seems incomplete. And they took some kind of action, and the action's already in progress, that new action. They shot their arrows. Eight of Wands, it's like somebody already shot their arrows, and their arrows are in the air waiting to land. There's already an action occurring in place. But you know, when the hand of God puts out a pentacle or a wand, action's already occurring, even if you haven't done anything yet. It's coming, it's happening. You really don't get to prevent that. That's an act outside of you, just like a tower is an act outside of you. So do we get to see anything on this action, or is it time to move to the Ace of Wands? I'm trying to see if there's a story building here or not. I had something want to, but I need something to actually jump. It's going to jump. Okay. And we have the Star card. So this has to do with self-worth and self-value. They're introspecting their place, who they are, what really makes them them and unique, and how that fits into this situation. And again, it has to do with relationships. Obviously, this Two of Cups is a relationship card too. It's not the Lover's card, but it is a relationship card. It's any type of partnership. It could be a boss, it could be a coworker, it could be, you know, a parent and child, it could be lovers, it could be you and your parent, you know, a relationship. In effect, they felt betrayed in. They had to go through this introspection, master some things within themselves, take the journey to do that, take some time to themselves, work through their past frustration that they had to walk through or walk away from for that introspection, have strength through the matter, and look at who they really were and what will make them happy and their own shining star. Okay, so now we have the Two of Cups. Let's find out what this Two of Cups, this partnership actually looks like, because that is about partnership. Looks like they're exhausted with the partnership, and towers occurred. The Nine of Wands is the last leg of a journey, or, you know, just being exhausted with something, needing more stamina. They're tired. They're right about to bring in the harvest, but look, standing in the way of bringing in their harvest is this tiger up front. In the traditional card, it looks a little bit different. They're standing in front of 8 wands, and they still need to pull everything to bring it in. So they're just like standing there looking at everything that they need to get ready to pick and pull. You know, it's a pause right before they get to complete their harvest. But it's tiring. I mean, they put in all that work all season, and it's still not over yet. There's still a big job ahead of them. And then Tower hits, another unexpected. Well, this is the first unexpected, besides that they were already dissatisfied to begin with. Here they're jumping out of a tower that gets hit by lightning. In this little version of the Teddy Bear Tarot, they're jumping out of a tower that's being engulfed in the flood. So, yeah. It's an unforeseeable event that creates a little chaos and a hiccup in a situation. So, do we get to see what this tower is with the I shouldn't say lovers, it's not, with this partnership card that's making them so tired. King of Cups. Okay, anything else on that? That's either the energy they're carrying or someone else's energy, but right now, with it being the one there, it doesn't signify whose is whose, or if it's just all for their perspective for the person that I'm doing the reading for. Anything else on that partnership and this tower situation? We have King of Cups on the table. There's a tower with the King of Cups. That's kind of how I would see that out. And yeah, apparently, because we also have the King of Swords, two different types. And we have a Five of Cups, which is dealing with the aftermath. Spilling your cups, dissatisfied, dealing with the aftermath of a sad situation. You still got two good cups, man. But these three are spilled, so dealing with the aftermath of a situation that was emotionally upsetting between the King of Cups and the King of Swords. And the King of Cups rules with their heart, and logic can be dismissed sometimes. Although they are logical, I'm not saying they're not. And the King of Swords rules with their logic, and their heart plays a part in it. But they're going to go with the most logical outcome. You can see how those two could oppose, even though they both have good qualities. Okay? This one's a bearer of just, I love everything, you know, let's go hug a tree. And this one's more like King Solomon, let's cut the baby in half to find out who the parent is. You know, seriously. Like, they both have their strengths and weaknesses. They both want the same thing, though. They both want the world. They both want to be able to be themselves and be accepted in the world at their highest states in a good manner, you know. So there's some kind of disagreement there, obviously, or aftermath from this situation with deceit from the Seven of Swords. They want the world, though. There's a tower moment. I don't know what's going on there that takes them into the Six of Wands, where they get to achieve praise. Besides, this one did introspection. I don't know what's getting missed here. Maybe we'll see it as all these other ones play out. So we're going to look at the Six of Wands. Something on the Six of Wands, please. Clarify the Six of Wands. Can you get a clarifier on the Six of Wands? Okay. And we've got the Knight of Cups moving forward, and the Four of Cups upside down in reverse. Okay, so somebody came out of their dissatisfaction and they're ready to come forward with a love offer. Although it's a knight love offer, not a king or a queen love offer. It's a little bit naive and hasty. It's like teenage love, not really educated or schooled or experienced. Yeah, it'd be better if they were the King of Cups, but I mean, that's already out there. It's a knight. It might still be the King of Cups, but we don't have that card in the deck anymore, so it came out as a knight to express it, okay? But at least they're coming out of their dissatisfaction from whatever this unsatisfactory experience was, and they're creating an offer. So what happens with this offer? It's the offer to move to calmer shores, okay? This is the Six of Swords. Yeah, Six of Swords. And they're leaving a situation behind, like there might be fighting or battle on the land behind them, and they're crossing a waterway to go to calmer shores, get away from that situation. Moving to calmer shores, okay? It's also leaving leaving in general, but moving to calmer shores. So anything else on that? And that's an honorable thing to do, apparently, because that's on the parade card. And they are holding the money in a position that they're not being outlandish with their spending right now. Four of Pentacles it's some people call it the miser card, but it doesn't, well, maybe they are being a miser, but it can also just be a card where they're in restriction until they can find the best way to use their finances for the best outcome for all involved. So it's not necessarily a miser card. It can just be reserving and preserving to find out the best way to expenditure. I guess we'll put it that way. Now we got this Nine of Pentacles, which is energy of someone that likes to be stable with their own resources so that they can help others. It's a very nurturing, stable. It's almost like the Queen. It's like a secondary Queen card in the Pentacles suit. It's very philanthropic and caring and nurturing. I think it's also another Virgo card. That would be two of those. Yeah, I think it is. I'd have to double check that. But let's look at this Nine of Pentacles. Get a clarifier on the Nine of Pentacles, please. King of Wands. Knight of Wands. Death. Okay, so King of Action. Action, action, action. Knight of Wands is less responsible action. These are a little, Knight of Wands is somewhat rebellious. King of Wands is more balanced in their actions. Somebody was taking action to have this energy of the Nine of Pentacles that I just discussed. And they were trying to do it in a balanced way, but they could have been a little too self-serving with it. The Knight of Wands is even more self-serving. It would have been easier to just flip the king out in reverse, and I wouldn't have needed the Knight of Wands, unless both people are acting this way, because there was a partnership. This is about partnerships. This one is rebellious and likes to argue. It's the quickest knight to start a fight. And there's death to that situation. Death doesn't mean an end to the whole partnership. Death means an end to a situation so that there can be a rebirth. Beginnings and ends, or ends and new beginnings. It's like Phoenix rising to an extent. It can be the end of a situation. There's also, that probably ties into this Tower moment. That's probably what the Tower moment is. Let's go ahead and look at the Tower moment. way too many cards to read in a minute or not. So justice got called on the situation, okay? That's a balancing. There's scales. There's truth. Scales in this hand, and there's a sword in the other. That's sort of truth and justice. Yeah. So justice was called on the situation. It's time to have balance in this partnership with the Two of Pentacles. It's a little bit of a juggling act until balance can be created. So, yeah, apparently both of them were acting in their own best interest, and that situation had to end for a new beginning to happen. And it ended with the Tower, which made somebody feel stabbed in the back and deceived. So, justice was called. Balance is happening. It looks like it's been going on for a while because, again, it's almost complete. It shows that the action already happened, but now they're working through their emotional aftermath with these cups and the financial upheaval. There's lots of cups and resources. Might have affected their health for a while. It is a relationship card because here's the Lovers. It's the end of that action, though. Okay. And here's a new offer. Remember, Mercury, communication and thinking. Well, right here we've got a new offer, Ace of Swords. Swords, again, represent communication and thinking. They're heavily Mercury tied. So there is a new offer, a new way to reframe this, a new opportunity, a learning experience out of the whole thing. Okay, so now for the Queen of Wands. Can I get a clarifier for the Queen of Wands? Thank you. She's looking for emotional wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups. So there is action being taken. This could be the energy of both. It could be the energy of the one person that I picked for this reading for. They're looking for their emotional wish fulfillment, their happiness. This isn't the happily ever after home and family. It's more personal wish fulfillment. They're trying to find out what makes them happy. That again goes back to where they're doing the introspection on themselves. The Star card, how can they be themselves in front of the world, bring more of who they are out into the open instead of having it hidden. So yeah, personal wish fulfillment. So now we're going to move into this next section, but for time, I may not clarify all this. So, motion. What actions are actually occurring? What's the motion in this situation? Well, we already saw it over here. Judgment's been called. We had that card start out here with Justice. That's the balancing. Judgment's been called. See the trumpet, the angel. People are rising up. So the motion is... I wouldn't be surprised if Judgment was in here somewhere, and I just forget that quickly because I stack them up. I really wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, that's what's going on there. Page of Pentacles. Somebody's learning. They're in studious mode, higher education, new ways of thinking, reevaluating things, learning whatever they can about a situation. Here's that miserly Four of Pentacles again. We saw it over here. Someone's not doing any major spending right now because they're trying to probably learn the best way to handle their resources, whether it be health, wealth, money, finances. They're not making any big moves. They're not skydiving while they have a backache, you know, that type of energy. They're being very slow-moving, restricted on that, until they can figure out the best course of action on how to spend those Four Pentacles, their resources, in a wise manner. Then we've got the Knight of Swords. This knight is, I already described the Knight of Wands as being rebellious and ready to start a fight. The Knight of Swords, they can tend to have a chip on their shoulder. They can be blame shifters. They can be accusatory of others. They don't necessarily want to look at their own actions all the time. yeah, I'm just telling you what the energy is. Not necessarily rebellious, but maybe projecting. Um, they'll decide it's somebody, blame shifting. Okay. Those are the types of energies we're working with here. And then we have fighting. The Five of Wands, that's, they're sparring. It's not an all-out war, okay? They got wands, but that's fighting. So fighting was occurring. That's the motion that was occurring. This is the aftermath of the fighting. The Five of Swords is dealing with the aftermath. The fight's over, but there's still emotions and things to process about the fight. And it didn't get them anywhere. There was a stalemate. That's what the Two of Swords is. That is a stalemate. So it really didn't help them any. I can clarify on that, but like I said, I'm trying to keep this short enough. If I was doing a reading for you, I would clarify just like with this one on all this. And sometimes I even clarify on the clarifiers when somebody just has the time to spend, because when I'm helping somebody with something that they're navigating and it's matching, we'll go as deep as the cards will talk. And then when they quit talking, we'll move on. So in this third one, we've got passion. This is, again, kind of like the star card. It's about looking at what fulfills a person, what makes a person feel complete, their inner passions, what they need to feel whole in the world and present to the world. It's kind of like a life purpose or a self-purpose, self-actualization and individuation card. And how can you bring that out into the world so that you can be happy? And somebody's working on mastering that, looking at that within themselves with this Eight of Pentacles mastery, craftsmanship. They're working on it. They're looking at it. They're evaluating it. And they do want the world. They want to, you know, have the world is their oyster, okay? That's what they're after. But currently, or as they process through that, they're feeling out in the cold. There's this nice warm church right behind them. You know, churches really don't turn people away. They could go inside, but they're feeling outcast in this situation as they process through it. And they're very dissatisfied with the situation as they're working through it, because they have three good cups, or three spilt cups in front of them, but two good cups behind them. So they didn't lose everything, but they're too focused on the loss instead of what they still have to gain. So they're processing through that dissatisfaction. But at least you see down here that with the Two of Wands, they are contemplating their future. And they did have an Ace of Wands over here for a new opportunity. They're contemplating that, how they can move forward. This person actually has the world in their hand already. They're ignoring the wand before them, only focused on the one in front of them. They're ready to move forward. So what do they do next? They transmute those negative energies where they feel out in the cold and disappointed. They focus on their goals with those future plans from the Two of Wands, and they look towards their future and how they can bring that into existence. This is the Magician card. It's a transmutation card, and working on achieving your goals. You know, what kind of, as above, so below, what can you put into it to get the effects and outcomes you want? You could also call that the scientist card, you know, if you didn't want to make it a magician. All right, and then you got the Hermit. So they're not just doing it haphazardly. They're doing it with plenty of introspection. Looking inward, getting that enlightenment that they need. But this is also a personal journey for them. And that's you know, that makes sense with it being the Passion card. So I could expound on all of those, but I think I'm just going to leave that there so that we can have something that's not 2 hours long. Like I said, I would expound on all of it usually, but that's how this read goes. And this is called a theme or topical read. And if you can't tell, it works with pretty current energies for a person.